again. So basically what we're going to do now is we're going to take this small part that fit into the bottom of the other one very nicely, and this whole thing will go into there. As you can see, it creates 3 chambers. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut the thin one that's inside at about, now that would be about 2 centimeters from the line right over here. I'll start cutting it, and then, so basically speaking, you should be left with 3 parts. One, the part that we cut off in the beginning, the thicker one, as you can see there, and the third part, which is from the thinner one, as you can see now. Now, because this is very flimsy glass, and because plastic, and because we're going to be opening and closing it, to remove dead eggs, or hopefully not, even if it's cracked, as you can see in this case here, it really doesn't matter, because what we're going to do now is we're going to use this to harden the plastic around its edges. That's why we cut it a little bit larger. Unfortunately, I'm only by myself in here, so I need both hands to use this. Basically what you do is you turn the fire on, you put the edge around it really gently, and as soon as it gets a little bit on fire, you turn it off on the wood. You'll do that a few times, and then you'll see it pretty much all level out, and it will strengthen up the crack too, and then you'll see how it works. Anyways, this crack really doesn't matter, because this is what goes inside to the other. So it's practically proofs broken, say, whatever you call it, say. Alright, I think I'll try to do it for you guys to watch. Put it to the side. As soon as it starts that, turn it off. Notice how the inside gets a bit thicker, but that's okay, we're just strong in it. You can see how it gets a little bit, makes this perfect line on the inside. That's what we're looking for. Now if you see one side that's a little bit higher than the other, use that to get on fire first. There you go. And you turn it off. That's pretty much how you do it. As you can see, it's gotten a little bit rough around the edges, but we'll just trim that off with a knife. While I'm here, I might as well use the top one and do the same thing. Here we go. Use it from the side. As soon as it starts to get on fire, turn it off. If there's any kids that are trying to do this, do not do this without your parents' supervision, as it's very dangerous. Plastic and a gap that it creates in here can cause a little bit of damage, as you'll see, if you don't know what you're doing, so you better be very careful. That's it. You see, it's made a perfect round line. Now we just trim it, the inside, with a knife. Turn the fire off. What you do now is you take your knife and you trim it. This will take both hands, but you'll just trim the inside so that it will fit very nicely and snug. Let me do that, and then I'll... So, finish cutting, and here are your 3 parts. 1, 2, 3. Any of you guys who have already made homemade egg tumblers, you'll understand what's going on. Now basically, this here is a chamber for the eggs. I'm making it a little bit larger than normal, as some of the eggs that I'm going to be keeping on here are from verdosas, so they're kind of large. Now what happens is, we will put netting in that, lock it safely, so that will be your base. Put a net on top, lock that safely in place, and there you'll have your eggs inside that little basin right there. Nice and safe and easy to see. What we're going to do now is going to start opening up some holes. We're going to open up 3 holes to be exact. 1 for, voila, the air stone. 2 for this, and 3 right on the top to allow the bubbles to come out. Now that one is the easiest one. I'll show you. As you can see, we made the first hole. Now what we're going to do, using the same tools, we're going to make 2 more holes. 1 for here, for the air stone, and 2 for the sucker to go on. Now what we do is, we measure, one second, we measure how far this goes, and the air stone will go right up on top of that. In other words, right about here. Right where your line ends, you'll make another hole for the air stone to go in. I'll make the hole for the air stone, and about 1 inch to the side and a little bit up, from here to here, you'll make another hole for your suction cup. Actually, it's best to put it around 90 degrees apart, so that we'll be sitting like this on the side. But just count it about 1 centimeter above. Yeah, right about there. Okay, so I'll make one hole right here and one hole right there. Now, when making the hole for the air tube, for the air stone, it doesn't have to be too big, just enough to fit the end through. While making the hole up here for the suction, you have to make sure it's not too big either, or else water will seep in through that and cause the vacuum to be up higher and your eggs won't bounce. So you just need to be very careful about that part there. I'll make them and then show